Hey guys, so this week is Thanksgiving and I thought the timing would be perfect to sit down and just give you a little bit of an update on how some things are going in our homeschool as far as our routine and schedules and different things that we're doing, as well as just share with you some of the things that I'm thankful for in our homeschool. Before we jump into all of that, I want to share some exciting news with you. There's been something that I wanted to do for the last several years. I finally did it. I've opened up a shop on Etsy, t-shirts and sweatshirts and mugs with a bunch of fun homeschool designs. This one is one of them. I will put a link to my shop in the description below, and I would be super honored if you would take a look at that. All of my viewers can get 10% off using the coupon code THANKFUL between now and December 10th. Thank you so much for supporting my small business. Studies have shown that having a heart of gratitude leads to people being more happy. And I think right now is just such a fitting time for us to pause a little bit and think about the things that we're thankful for. When we can sit down and list out the things that we're thankful for, it does so much in our own hearts to just express that gratitude to the Lord for the blessings that He's given us. It takes our focus off all of the hard things and helps put the focus rightly back on Him and His blessings to us. One of the big things that I am super thankful for this year is all of you. I am beyond blessed by all of your encouraging comments that you share every time I post a new video. It just blesses my heart to know that something that I'm saying is helping someone or encouraging you in this path. I'm really curious what you are thankful for. What is a blessing to you in your homeschool this year? Will you please share that in the comments below? I think one of the biggest things that I am thankful for this year is that 8 years into homeschooling, I have finally gotten to a place where I am very comfortable and at peace with what we're doing in our homeschool and knowing how much we're doing and trusting that what we're doing is enough. When we are stuck in this place of feeling like we need to control everything and that we stress so much about doing all of the things just right, we lose that peace and that joy that is meant for us in Christ and in our homeschool. Each year, I feel like I learn a little bit more about what it means to trust the Lord in this process of homeschooling and release to Him whatever the results are going to be. He is guiding us in what we're doing. He's part of the decision-making process of our homeschool, and that it's just my job to be faithful to what He has called us to do, and then I can just trust Him with the results of that. And a big part of that has been the book Teaching from Rest by Sarah Mackenzie. If you haven't read that book, please check it out if that's something that you're struggling with. It's a book that I wish I had when I first started homeschooling, and every time I read it, I learn a little bit more and I grow a little bit more in my faith and in my trust in this process. So I highly encourage that to you as well. The beginning of this year has looked a little bit different for us than it has in the past, just because right at the beginning of the school year is kind of our prime harvest time in our orchard. And so we have started a lot slower than normal with our homeschool, just because we've had to kind of work in a lot of those chores that we've had to do as far as harvesting and processing a lot of canning and dehydrating fruit. That has been something that has been fun to do and exciting and new, but it also has presented some challenges as we haven't had quite as much dedicated time in the day-to-day to get a lot of things done. And now that winter is approaching, we actually have a little bit of snow on the ground at our house. Things have slowed down, and now we're able, I think, to really get into our groove of homeschooling. So one of the things that I am beyond thankful for is the flexibility that homeschooling allows us to work a lot of those things into our typical school day. So for us, the beginning of the school year has looked a lot like focusing on the 3 R's, right? Those core things: reading, writing, math, language arts, those kind of subjects. We've spent a lot of time reading through books from the library and watching documentaries and different like science type of shows on TV and different things like that to get in more schoolwork in different ways that isn't necessarily through curriculum. And so that has been something that I've been thankful for, to be able to find new and different ways, and a lot of times even more interesting ways of learning for our kids. And I fully believe that not all education comes from curriculum and textbooks. There's so much education that happens through living life and experiencing things together together. I've been really blessed to see, especially my oldest, really take his education into his own hands and spend a lot of time in self-directed learning, and that has been really encouraging to see and fun to see the fruits of his efforts in that area. Another thing that I've been really thankful for this year and really blessed by is seeing one of my other boys really start to take more responsibility. It's his responsibility to pretty much take care of all of the chickens that we have. We have 50 chickens right now, and it's his job to make sure they have food and water and fresh straw in their nesting boxes to keep the eggs clean and all of that kind of stuff. And it has been just a blessing and an encouragement to see him really take ownership of that and really not have to be asked to do it. He just does it. So I'm really thankful for him and the work that he has been doing around the property. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that thumbs up button below. It really helps YouTube to know that this is valuable content that they should share with other people. Another thing that has kind of had to become a flexible thing in our homeschool is our morning time. I created this beautiful homeschool loop schedule that I had fully intended on helping us to be more organized this year and staying on course and getting all of the things in that we wanted to do. But as always happens, every single year, I always bite off more than we can chew, and I always kind of plan some things that don't always end up falling into place, and that has been the case with some of our things with our morning loop schedule. I still fully plan on going through all of the things that I had planned in that loop schedule list. However, we have modified it where instead of having all of those things that we're cycling through all at the same time, I've chosen just a couple of things and we rotate through those. And then once we get through those items, we'll put them aside and pick up some other things out of those categories that I had set up so that we'll still get through everything. Just there won't be so many moving pieces on a normal like weekly basis, if that makes sense. And that seems to be a better fit for us, a little bit less overwhelming, a little bit fewer things to try to maneuver and fit into our day. That has been one change from what I had initially planned for us at the beginning of the school year. I just want to encourage you that even more experienced homeschoolers still make changes all throughout the year. And that is, again, one of the beautiful things about homeschooling is that you can make what you're doing fit your family and fit the season of life that you're in. There's always going to be something that comes up that is unexpected, or things just don't work the way that you had expected them to do, and then you make modifications and move on in a way that's going to be a better fit. If you find yourself in a place where what you're doing just isn't working, don't feel bad if you need to pause things or scrap some things completely and try something different. That is okay. That is normal. That is really expected in your homeschool. In our morning time, we have been going through the devotion book Boyhood and Beyond by Bob Schultz. And I heard about this book from Jamie over Simply Living It. She also has 3 boys that are very similar ages to mine. And if you're not following her, you should go check out her channel. She has a ton of amazing content. She's very encouraging. I just love her channel. And so when she recommended this, I knew that would be one that I felt like would be a good fit for us. And we started it and have absolutely loved the discussion that has come out of this book. And just the things that my kids are learning. So this is another thing that I have been really thankful for in our homeschool that has been going really well, and I highly encourage this devotional book if you are looking for something to do with your boys as well. One of the biggest things that I'm thankful for is that in our homeschool we have the ability to infuse the Lord in all of the things that we do and really disciple our children and teach them and train them in righteousness, and that is just such a blessing to be able to be part of that. And it's been so encouraging to see growth in all of our kids in a lot of the areas that we have talked about in our devotions and just in general in life as we have discussions throughout the day. Our normal daily routine has pretty much looked the same as it has last year in my block scheduling video where I showed what our normal daily routine looks like. We start out the day after breakfast doing our core work where our kids focus on their language arts and their math, and then we do morning time where we cover some of those things in that loop schedule, like we do Bible or some kind of devotion and scripture memory every day, and then we go into some kind of history or biography or geography, mix in some artist study and composer study and poetry. And we have a variety of things that we do in that morning time. But the key is that we don't do everything every day. And then as soon as our morning time has been done, our kids have gone outside to play until lunch is ready. And then in the afternoon, they pick up with some of their other independent subjects like their music and handwriting and typing and some of those kind of things. So that schedule for us has stayed the same. It just has been something that we have fallen into, and that's what really works for our family. We are still doing an unschool day 1 day a week, and this year we are doing that on Fridays because another thing that I am super thankful for this year is that we have joined a new nature group. We go twice a month on a hike, and it's been really great to be part of a group again, going outside, having those scheduled days each month to force us or encourage us to go outside and be in nature and get some exercise and enjoy the beautiful creation that God made for us to enjoy. I really had hoped on those unschool days to have a little bit more dedicated time where we might get into doing some more art projects or doing some more home ec kind of, cooking and baking and those kind of things. And we haven't done a lot of that yet. So I really hope to in the upcoming months to start to incorporate some more of those things now that we are not so busy with outdoor chores and things like that. Is a good time for us to kind of ease into doing some more of that stuff. Have you had to make any changes to your homeschool routine or curriculum or anything like that? I'm really curious to hear how your homeschool year is going as well. Please drop that in the comments below. And if you want to know more about what that true peace that can come in this process of homeschooling is, I encourage you to click on this video that I made all about the book Teaching from Rest. There are so many great tips in there, and I hope that you will be blessed by it. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Happy Thanksgiving.